Hi guys, welcome back to Boss Diaries. In this episode today, the topic will be then versus now in regards to life. Just like life in general, lifestyle, everything to do with life, basically. So, as you know, I have my little notepad to keep looking back and forth to make sure I'm on track and don't go all the way off topic. Because that was close. Because I can talk quite a lot. So my first little topic in life then versus now would be
Which one should we pick? Let's say
let's talk about dates. So I feel like back then, obviously I'm still very young, still in my 20s, but back then in terms of like when I was in the teenagers years and stuff like that, I feel like dates would be like going cinema or going ice skating or even just going to the park or going for I say going for a drive, but to be fair, not a lot of people was driving back then. But like, just my main point is that the dates were just like little cute stuff, if that makes sense. But I feel like nowadays, oh my god, dates in the younger generation nowadays is like they're going to Hakkasan, they're going on holidays, they're going just everything expensive. I'm just like, what? Like back in our day, it was all about doing cute stuff with a budget. But I feel like, I mean, to be fair, you can look at it in two ways. I feel like if you've got it in this generation like that, then good on you. Do what you want to do what you please. But I just feel like back then versus now, I feel like first dates is very, very different. I feel like back then it was more about budgeting and being cute and being romantic with what you had. Whereas now it's just about splashing. Like it's all about splashing and image, and I just feel like it's just so different. So yeah, I feel like they're the differences in terms of dates. Point number 2, I would say, oh my god, playing out. So I feel like back in the day, kids would be able to like just go out and play out. They would either ride their bikes or they'll be playing with their toys like in the front, or they'll just hang out, literally hang out and be able to come back. But I feel like now, and how the world is now and the generation now, I feel like not a lot of kids are doing that. And it's not even that they're not doing that. I feel like how the world is, it's so hard to do that because there's so much violence now, or even more violence, let's say, nowadays. Because like a lot of parents are scared to let their kids play out because they don't want things to happen to them or be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I feel like in terms of playing out, I don't know. I don't really think kids play out like that anymore. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like if, for example, you're just walking on a normal day, it's very rare that you see like kids just playing out and just having fun. Like if you was walking or driving down the road, you'll see a lot more kids just playing out. If they was riding their bikes or just kicking ball against people's fences and causing havoc or whatever, but I don't really see that anymore. So that would be number 2. Number 3, I would say, number 3 is a big one. Social media. I feel like social media has changed so much from back then till now. So I feel like back then, I feel like social media was a lot more fun. It was more positive. Like you could literally post anything. Like you would even post random stuff. Say if you were going to cinema with your friends, you'd be back out with, and then you would tag the person and do back their love hearts, whatever. Like the photos that you'd be able to post on social media was just so unfiltered. It was literally just an organic photo, and that you wasn't worried about your likes, you wasn't worried about your comments, you wasn't worried about what it looks like. You just posted for fun. Like everything was fun. But now social media is pressure. I feel like it's so pressurized now, and I feel like the new generation, they don't see it as fun anymore. They see it as more businessy, or like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel like they feel too pressured to have a certain amount of likes, comments, shares, be popular. It's just crazy. Very, very crazy how time has changed and how social media is right now. And okay, point number 4 is something that I think is forever changing. Like, it's not that deep, but I feel like point number 4, dress styles, dress sense, or just dressing up in general. I feel like back then, let's say taking it back like to primary going into secondary, I feel like there wasn't that much pressure in terms of like what you wear to school. Like, even for example, myself, I went to a own clothes primary school, and I don't remember ever feeling pressured on what I'm meant to wear every day or nothing like that. It was literally, I just enjoyed being a child, and I thought that's how it's meant to be, especially in those prime years of your life. You should not be worrying about fashion sense and all this extra stuff that I feel like the generation now worries about. But yeah, I feel like nowadays, in that kind of age group where it's like you're leaving primary school going into secondary, I feel like the pressure of clothes and what you're wearing or how expensive it is and what designer it is and all of that stuff is way more than what it was back then. Back then, you could literally, I'll speak on a girl's point of view because obviously I'm a girl, but you could literally wear like leggings or like Uggs or like a jumper if it's like winter, or you could just wear like just anything. You could literally just wear anything, and it's like no one would judge you. I feel like the rates of like bullying and stuff like that was a lot less. I mean, bullying is always happening, obviously, but in terms of like little things like that, I feel like no one was really thinking about all of that. We were just being kids and just having fun and doing kid stuff. But I feel like now it's so pressurized in what you wear, how you turn up, and like obviously now I feel like there's a lot more bullying. But I would say my advice to any young people that's watching this video, if you're in that kind of situation where you feel pressurized, be yourself. Wear whatever you want to wear, whatever shoes you want to wear, you wear it. You create your own style. Don't let nobody put you in a category and tell you you must wear this or you must wear that to look good or to be good or to be up there. No. You wear what you feel comfortable in and you own it. That is the most important thing. Own it. Have confidence when you're rocking it. Keep your head up. Do not walk with your head down. Keep your head up. Be confident. Own it. And don't even care about what people say. I know it's easier said than done, because obviously if a group of people are laughing at you every day and putting you down about what you're wearing or whatever, I know it can obviously be hard to, keep going and keep pushing. But you have to really know yourself and really own yourself and know that there's only one of you and you could actually break the cycle. So please be yourself and forget these people out there that have an issue with what you're wearing, what shoes you're wearing. Listen, save your coins, okay, from young. Save them coins and invest it into something, because when you get to your 20s, it will benefit you. Trust and believe. I don't even know what point I'm on. Hold on. I think, what points have I done? I done playing out as number 1. Then I done social media. I think was no. I don't think it was social media. No, dates was number 1. Playing out was number 2. Social media was number 3. So yeah, dress styles was number 4. And then for number 5, which goes off of number 4, would be hairstyles. So I feel like back then, I feel like children was children. Like children had children hairstyles. That was unapologetic about it. Obviously, their mums would well, I'm not going to stereotype that it was just their mums, dads, grandparents, aunties, whoever, would always style their hair, make sure it looked fresh. They would have the little beads in their hair for girls. They would have the little bows and whatever. I can't remember what young boys when we was that age used to have. I think it was just trims, I believe. Not that I can remember. Or they would have like their hair in like cane rolls or whatever. Nowadays, oh honey, young children nowadays, obviously there's no issue with this. I'm literally just stating then versus now, basically. I feel like nowadays it's a lot more extensions, it's a lot more wigs in terms of females. For men, I can't really speak too much on men. It's kind of the same, to be fair, but obviously there's different trends with men. So there's like hot smoke braids now, like single twists, and then locks, and also fake locks, because not all of the man them, their hair's real locks. Some of them do wear fake locks, and there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I feel like hairstyles has definitely changed over the years. Yeah, so I feel like nowadays it's a lot more rare to see like young kids rocking young kid hairstyles. It's like they more wanna look grown now, and they wanna do themselves up and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it, just stating the differences between then and now. And then that kind of leads to point number 6, which would be makeup. So back in my day, okay, I'm still young, but back in my day, no one was really wearing makeup to what I remember. I don't think anyone's wearing makeup, like definitely not in primary school. Secondary, I don't think people was wearing makeup. I mean, maybe if it was like our own clothes day and stuff, because my secondary school was uniform unless they had their own clothes day. But on a regular basis, I don't really remember people wearing makeup like that. But I feel like nowadays, oh my god, it's like compulsory. Every young child, not every, majority young children, like obviously females, are wearing makeup to school. And then on top of the wearing makeup to school, a lot of young children are now having more problems with their skin, like spots and acne and all this other stuff, because they're not taking off their makeup properly, they're sleeping in their makeup, or they're only using makeup wipes to remove it and not actually washing their faces. So I feel like that's definitely a then versus now situation. Back then, it was like natural beauty all the way. Didn't really know about makeup until probably later on in life. Whereas now, I feel like they're knowing about it from end of primary school, definitely, into secondary, and throughout the whole of secondary, into college and forever all. So that would be number 6. Point number 7, I would talk about shopping. So I remember back in the day, I keep saying back in the day, guys, but just get on my lingo. Back in the day, when it came to like shopping and stuff, I was not doing big shopping back in the day. If anything, I was window shopping majority of the time. So I'll be going with my friends, going to these shopping malls, and it would be window shopping. And if we was to go and shop in any places, it would literally be like Primark and Claire's. Claire's for like the jewelry, like one-off jewelry, and then Primark for like little clothes or pajamas or whatever. And nowadays, oh honey, nowadays these youngsters, it's all about Selfridges, it's all about Harrods, anything designer, they want it, they're having it, they're rocking it, they're promoting it. I'm just like, whoa, like it's kind of scary, because like I feel like, I don't want to say kids are not being kids, but I feel like they're not enjoying just being a child. Like I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's hard, because I feel like obviously from then till now as well, the generation is obviously, they're doing their thing. A lot of young people own their own businesses now. They make money their own ways, and they've got it like that to be doing that. I just think it's so crazy, because back in the day, yeah, we was not doing that, but we was like, if we was earning any little change, that was getting stacked. Like that was saving. And then in terms of shopping, it would literally be going into these little stores, just having a little look. The biggest thing was just trying on stuff as well, like trying stuff on, snapping it or whatever, but never really purchasing it. But that would be point number 6, I think it was. And point number 7, I would have to say like cost of living. Obviously, cost of living is always going up every single year, but let's just talk about it. So I feel like back in the day, that you could go to a chicken shop, you could get a £1 deal, and it used to be, oh my god, I think it was like 4 wings and chips and dip and drink and for £1. Nowadays, I don't even know, I don't even eat in chicken shops, but I'm estimating that the cheapest deal was like $3.99, $4.99 for the same thing. Whereas back in the day, you get literally a £1 deal. And I think, I can't remember, I think there was like a kebab shop that was by my school back in the day, and they actually used to do a deal for school kids. I think it was £2. It was either £2 or it was like $1.99 or something like that. And it was basically meat, chips, and drink for that price. and it used to slap. It obviously wasn't healthy for you, but it used to slap. And I don't think you can get that deal anymore. And also sweet shops, they used to have the 5p sweets, they used to have the 10p sweets, they used to have the little, I think they still have the little picnic things, but it's definitely not that price anymore. Even them sweets that are like, I think it's like £3-4 individually. Back in the day, they used to be 29p each, then it went up to 39p each, and I'm pretty sure now it's like 49p each. Like if you was to get it singly, I mean wow, individually. But yeah, cost of living, oh my god, food shopping. So me, I am all about savings, mate. So I will happily shop in Aldi and Lidl's. And back in the day, I could do a full food shop, £50 or less. However, now, a full food shop in them same shops, it will be hitting like 70, 80, sometimes scraping 90 for the same products. I'm like, what? Where did that price raise come from? This is actually ridiculous. Like, I obviously know that every year it goes up or whatever, but nah, come on. They're meant to be the cheapest shops. So I can only imagine Sainsbury's and Tesco's and stuff must be way more than that for a full shop. Probably like 120, 130, even 150. Wouldn't be surprised. I think that's insane. What else could we talk about cost of living? What other item? Oh, even being a woman. Sorry. Hair, nails, makeup if you wear it. General pampering in general. Prices all the way up. Like, oh my gosh. I remember back in the day, I used to, okay, for example, the hairstyle I got now, obviously I've got a lot, or I had a lot of different hairstyles, but now I just have one. She knows who she is. But back in the day, I remember getting this type of hairstyle would be like £30, like 25, £30. But nowadays, this type of hairstyle would be like 50, 60. Like the difference is crazy. Nails is the same. Used to be able to get cheap nail sets. Now it's like pushing the same. Eyelashes the same. Makeup in stores the same. A full pampering session for a woman. Hey. Okay guys, I do not know what number I'm on. I think it's like number 8 or number 9. But another thing that I think has changed from then till now over the years is gaming. Oh my gosh. So if you don't know, I actually love games. I love playing games. My favorite game is actually Sims. I used to love Sims, still love it to this day. But I was a massive gamer. My dad always made sure I had the latest technology and the latest games. Also my cousins, all of my cousins growing up, I grew up with a lot of male cousins. They always had the latest games I would play with. And I feel like the games over like the whole generation and years has actually got worse. I think the technology's got better, but the game quality has got worse. So back in the day, like way back in the day, I had what's it called? You know them original Nintendos? I don't know what they're called. I think it was just Nintendo DS. So with the Nintendo DS, you used to have like a little chat room that you could actually write and talk to your friends on there. Obviously all of your games was like on like a little SD card, so no matter where you was, you could play all your games, because obviously it wasn't online back then. It was only on SD card. You connect with your friends if there was, wait, was it online? Because you could connect with your friends if they was playing the game, but I don't know if that was classed as online. But anyways, I feel like the games back then was so much better. And then even on PlayStation, so games they used to have, in my opinion, are so much better than the games that they have now. They used to have games like Scooby-Doo, like Open Season, the car games on there, quality. They used to have just a lot of games to do with like the animations that was there at the time. So like they had a Shrek movie, Shrek game that was cold. Oh my god, I still remember, like you could play with all the different characters, and all the different characters that had different skills. And like with the games back then, it was kind of like a good balance. It's like it was hard, but it was achievable, and it's like you could be playing it for hours until you get to the next level, and it was so addictive. But I feel like games now, I feel like when you're playing with it, you just get tired of it. You just end up turning it off, and then you don't end up picking up your game console for like quite a while, and you have to really motivate yourself to play a game. Whereas back then, you would be playing until you fell asleep. You would be playing and wanting to play another game and another game, or you'd be calling all your friends to jump online. Like, I feel like the vibes of playing games back then was so different compared to now. Like, so different. It was crazy. Okay, so point number 9 or number 10, don't know which one it is. This is so random, but do you guys remember back in the day that newspapers was actually posted for our door like every single, I don't know if it was every single day or every single week? And not that I ever read it, but I think it was so good because these have like little, like, for example, companies that wasn't like big companies was able to put their businesses in the newspaper and like really promote themselves. And like they had like the headlines in there, like they had little games in the magazines like Sudoku and all that stuff, word puzzles and that. And I think they obviously stopped it due to like the amount of trees they had to cut down to be posting every day. So now obviously everything's online. But I feel like that's like a little kind of difference between then and now. Obviously back then you had newspapers posted every day, whereas now you have everything online. So if you want to find out the news or you've missed it, you literally have it online or you have it on TV. So I feel like that's definitely a difference. And point number 9 or point number 10, don't know which one, but this is actually quite a good one. You can put down my little notepad. I feel like back then, like, there was more of a need for like a house phone. Like, I don't know who can relate to this, but I feel like obviously with the older generation, they had their house phone and then they had their mobile phone, and then they also would have like the little work mobile. Whereas in this generation, obviously with a lot of young people now having their own places and obviously either renting or owning places, they don't really have house phones. And I don't know if people's clocked onto that, but everyone kind of just has a mobile phone. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but literally landlines are basically out of service, because now when the new generation is now moving into places, they're not getting no house phones. They literally got their mobile. They can do everything on their mobile. No need for a house phone anymore. I think that's definitely a change, because back then you'd obviously grow up having your little house phone. Like, your friends would ask their parents to like call your house number, and you have like little conversations or whatever. Whereas now there's not even a purpose for it. Everyone's got a mobile phone. These kids be getting mobile phones from like year 5 or whatever. Obviously I get the whole health and safety if they start walking home by themselves and stuff, but no need for house phones these days. Absolutely mad. I'm just gonna start putting like the points flying up in the sky, because I honestly don't remember what the numbers are. But another change from like back then to now, I feel like computers used to be a luxury. Like, to be able to go on the computer, or for me anyway, to be able to go on a house computer or any type of laptop was a luxury. And obviously because it was an old school computer, there wasn't actually that much you could do. I think it was more like for MSN back then, and like just about research. And oh my gosh, I remember the struggle was so real, because I remember like, for example, when I used to go to like my friend's house or whatever, they used to have like more updated computers, so they had like these different games that they could play online, which was not compatible for my computer back at home. But I feel like the difference between then and now is that now the access for kids to be able to use laptops, tablets, even the fact of iPad, I didn't have nothing called an iPad back then. I did not even just about have a tablet. I didn't have none of that. I had my little Nintendo DS, just about PlayStation. That was it in terms of technology. For like nowadays, a very young generation, they've got iPads, they've got laptops, they've got telephones, they've got computers, they've got flipping everything. So let's make this category technology. Technology over the years, crazy. Like, even down to a phone. I remember my very first phone was a Nokia. Like, you know, the proper brick Nokias. That was me. I was so compatible with it. I had my little snake game on there. You know, the little snake game where you have to like, you got to move the snake around. You got to try and not make it, what is it? I think you got to try and not as the snake grows and eats all the apples or whatever it was, you got to try and make sure that you don't get stuck or whatever. I don't know what it was, but that game was so lit. And there was another game that Nokia had. I can't remember what it was, but I remember the snake game. I'll never forget the snake game. But yeah, that was me done. I was able to call and message, and that was it. I didn't have no internet on that phone. I think back then, I don't think you could have internet at that stage, but then obviously as the phones upgraded, you could. And then even when it came to like internet and stuff, it was pay as you go. So the little piece of pay as you go money that was on them phones, you couldn't even be on the internet because it would burn it out within seconds. So yeah, I feel like nowadays with phones, these kids, their first phone be an iPhone. Huh? Like iPhone? That is crazy. Like obviously I understand, like nowadays the technology and stuff is so much different to back then. So I mean, I don't know, like I still feel like iPhone is still crazy. Like I feel like for your very first phone, it should literally be a phone where you can call and message your parents. I don't think internet is necessary. I don't think social media is necessary. I don't think even a camera, I know that sounds extreme, but I don't actually think a camera is necessary for your first phone. You don't need it. Like your first phone, in my opinion, is literally to call your parents, message your parents. Another point that I just thought of is toys. So the toys back then that I can remember in my head that I used to have that I was excited about kind of links to when I was talking about games. No, I was talking about gaming, but toys was like little marbles, the Tamagotchis, the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the what other toys? There was Baby Born. I remember Baby Born. I remember all of the popular toys that was back then. It was just like such simple toys, but I feel like nowadays the toys that kids be requesting for their birthdays, I'd be like, honey, what do you need that for? Like what? Absolutely insane. I just can't. But again, I understand times are changing, technology improves and whatever, so it's never going to be 100% the same as how it was back then. But I think it's kind of sad in a weird way. Like if we do like an overall, I feel like back then I'm so happy that people my generation was able to experience a childhood and the fun of it and just being a child and all of that. And I feel like the world now is so advanced, the kids included, and I think it's just so sad that they're kind of born and straight away evolving into adults. Like it's like they're missing out that child stage, which is so crazy. But yes guys, I'm going to wrap up this video because I can't think of the rest of the points that I originally thought of. I hope that you enjoyed this little quick video talking about, you know, back then to now and life before and life now and all the changes. I hope that you related to some of the points. Please leave a comment down below if you have any other points that you can think of how things were different back then to now. If you're liking the concept of Boss Diaries, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, please comment down below and turn on your post notifications so you never ever miss an upload. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos and rocking with me up until this point and for the future. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.